bring into a symbol. There are parts of these that are symbols already, but I would like to make it into an assembly symbol. So what I'd like to do is to shift click through all of the layers that I'm going to be bringing into this symbol, and control click and cut the frames. I'm going to go to Insert New Symbol. I'm going to call it Inuit History Assembly. I'm going to keep it a graphic symbol, and I'm going to say OK by hitting Return. In this new layer, I'm going to go to the new keyframe and control click Paste Frames. That will bring in all of the layers that I had previously. So you can see he's upside down because I had already done a flip at one point. That's fine. Now I've got the eyes on a separate layer, and I can work with these each individually, which is fantastic. So go back to the scene. You can see that this scene is where I have actually pulled it from this set. So I'm going to make a new layer. I'm going to name this the same as I have named it in my symbol set. It's Inuit History Assembly. insert keyframe. It's going to duplicate all these assets, but it will have another opportunity to have a change here. So first I'm going to just go in and make changes on this. I'm going to zoom in. I know that I won't have the hat on the second one, so I'm going to actually remove that hat. And so I have nothing on that keyframe. That will be fine. I'll make a new one. So now I have two different aspects, but what I'll have to do is go back to the scene, and you'll see that it looks like they're the same throughout here. I'm going to turn off that center suit with the eyeball off. And go into this one, and this is the one, the modern one, that I want it to act with the hat differently. So I'm going to remove these frames actually, because they shouldn't be there. Control click, remove the frames. And on the modern, if you bring up frame pickers, window, frame picker, I will now have two different assets. I'm going to select the second frame, and that is where I have the non-hat. I'm going to change this to just single frame. That will help you when you get into animating later. But you can see that this is where I've made alterations. So I can keep making changes. I want his face to generally be the same, but I would not have the wings. I would not have this particular fish or that spear, so I would just make changes to that. So on the second one, which is where my modern character is, I would not have these assets. Delete, delete. And I may keep the fish but change the spear. So on the spear, we're going to go to it, I'm going to unlock it. And because I have a mask running on that, I'm going to unlock both of them, but turn the mask to outline mode. That way I can see that it's just a line. That's how I can see it's going like that. So this is where I can show you guys, you can alter on that second keyframe your asset. So this is also symbol, so I'm going to double click into it. And because I want this to be on the second symbol, I'm going to also F6. This is a new keyframe. So first keyframe, second keyframe is where I'll be making these changes. So we can zoom in and make this into a knife as opposed to the spear. Hitting A, deleting, Command Z. So any change that I make to this one, I'm not making to that one because it is on the second keyframe. The previous keyframe, if I go back, this is where the spear is and this is where the knife will be. To make this just shorter, I'm going to go back to the main timeline, and for the spear, you can see that it's acting as the spear, but because it has not been selected in the keyframe picker. So I will now make it into my knife and then go back to the scene and make sure that that change has been made there. So you can see where you can alter things based on having them generally where you want here is where I'm going to have my historical character, and this is where I will have my modern character. All right, thanks for watching.